Hey, do you guys want to buy a kingfish? You want to live in a crazy house even though you're not crazy? Are you in the market for two-headed monsters? If you just like listening to more stories every week, then you can help me out. Go to my website, jaymohr.com, and click on the Amazon link on my website. If you're going to be shopping at Amazon anyway, why not help support more stories at the same time by going to jaymohr.com, jaymohr.com, bleep, and then click on the Amazon link to their homepage, and then you can shop for whatever you want. Instead of me pushing a product on you, you can just simply go to Amazon.com through jaymohr.com and get any product you want. I mean, I do a lot of favors for you, don't I? I ask you for one thing here, Henry. Go to Amazon.com through jaymohr.com. Look, this is Harvey Keitel. Go to jaymohr.com. Click the link. Who's going to be okay at Amazon.com through jaymohr.com? Say the damn words. Do me a favor. Help us out. Help keep this podcast rolling. You know how much money I got to pay Matt Cohen every week? Go to Amazon.com through jaymohr.com, and I will personally mail each of you $15 million. Part of this was made up. I am fired up. Fort Lauderdale, FLA, baby. The Improv, Friday, March 16th. I'm at the Fort Lauderdale Improv. I'm also there Saturday, March 17th. And, of course, the Cool Show, Sunday, March 18th. You know why it's cool? Because you got to go to work the next day, and you don't give a darn. As Colin Quinn would say, you don't give a care. You're going anyway, even though you got to go to work. West Palm Beach Improv, Thursday, March 22nd. Friday, March 23rd. Saturday, March 24th. Come on, peeps. Let's make it happen. And Canada? Where you at, Canada? America's tiny little hat. River Rock Casino in Richmond, British Columbia, March 30th. Thank you for listening to me blather. Now, on with the show.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Donuts.
Mark Mcgrath is our guest. And
What's up?
he just asked a good question. What time do you leave the West Side to get to a Laker game? So what, game starts at what, 7:30?
Game starts 7:30, and you're super, super West Side. I mean, you're see the ocean West Side.
Yeah.
So game starts at 7:30. I'm saying the earliest, because you've got to see the shoot around, especially if you're courtside or 3 rows back.
Right.
I'm saying the earliest you have to leave is 4:30 to get there cleanly.
4:30, but then you run the risk of being so early that you're just sitting at the pantry by yourself with that stupid runny mashed potatoes and green beans, and everyone still acts like it's great, but it's horrible.
Well, I go to the Palm right there and look at that terrible caricature of myself from my extra days and go, boy,
Really?
I really did good.
You got a character up at the Palm?
I do. The first week I went to Extra, the big rollout was like, hey, they're going to draw you and Dana's faces, my co-host, up on the wall at the Palm, which to me, dude, that was one of my all-time, motivations for coming to Hollywood back in the day. But it was the
hold on a minute.
Santa Monica Palm, not the downtown Palm.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't one of your motivations growing up in Connecticut going, one day I'll be in the wall of a steakhouse.
It was the Palm, though, dude, because, you went first time you went to the Palm. Did you not entertain the idea of, like, I'd like to be up there someday, especially with all the comedians and people you looked up to up there?
Yeah, I went there late, like in my mid-20s, where I was like, how come I'm not on this wall?
Exactly.
But
did you ever get on the wall of the Palm?
No.
Oh, dude, see, some goals are still out there for you.
I just want to work. I just want another job.
Good point.
I can't work about the Palm.
Me and you too. But I mean, you ever see O.J. Simpson's character up there? It slowly got scratched away by knives and like butter knives.
Really?
Like, they never took it down. It just slowly eroded. You know what I'm saying?
The irony that somebody took a knife to O.J.'s face
Totally hit the Palm
at a steak restaurant.
Isn't that beautiful, man?
That's amazing. I hope it was a waiter dressed as a giant Akita. That's inside.
That's perfect.
If that dog could talk, that guy would have been in jail a lot earlier.
So you think O.J. did it?
No. I think white man framed them. I think the white society, the oligarchy, just decided, like, we're going to just put this on them.
Exactly.
Obviously, it was a team of
300 people.
It was ninjas.
Yeah. I mean, 400 investigators.
I heard it was Al Davis.
You did? Yeah.
Mark Mcgrath was a guest on the show we did, Master Debaters on Fuel TV.
Rad show, dude.
It was fun, and I want to point this out real quick, but we said on the podcast peripherally that the other two co-hosts just picked the wrong week to act cool. Like, they weren't very engaged, and they didn't have a good time. We've edited well around them.
Yeah.
And then Mark Mcgrath was like our third. We would do like 5 in a day, and Mark was the third guest. And I'm 2 under my belt going, this is a disaster. And then me and Mark are laughing about something hard, like mushrooms laughing.
Right.
And Mark just looks up at me with a tear in his eye and goes, how come these guys aren't laughing? And I went, oh, okay, good. It's not just me.
No, but Jay, I was like, these are your co-hosts, dude? I mean, they're supposed to support you. And dude, you're a funny guy. But everything you do is funny to me, dude.
Funny? Funny how?
But like that. like just what you're doing.
Like a clown? Like, I mean, no, I don't know.
No, you know
He's a big boy, Cohen. Let him speak for himself. He knows what he said. What'd you say?
You know what's funny about your impressions? They're great. They're amazing. But it's your insight, which I love. Like Howard Stern, people are fans of Howard Stern because the midgets and the strippers, like, I like Howard's insight. I never watched that E! show of his because it bored me to death. I love his insight. And that's what I most love about Jay Mohr. Just you walking down the street talking about shit is hilarious to me. And obviously on that Master Debaters, I almost ruined the show because I couldn't stop laughing. Like Burns is like, it's not that funny, dude. And the black dude was angry at me too. And it's just a weird dynamic there.
You know it's a bad...
That black dude hated me, man.
He hated me. So much. You know it's a bad couple of co-hosts when they tell the guest, it's not that funny, dude.
I know.
Like, chill out.
What was that about? I mean, it's like, how did you settle on that dynamic, Jay, when you go, okay, these are my guys?
They were attached first, and then I got brought. Corey Fry, my production partner, said they want this show over at Fox Sports, or Fuel TV, which is, I guess, owned by Fox Sports, and be you on a panel. And I said, I don't really want to be on a panel, but if you wanted to be like, it's my show and they're on the panel, like a Chelsea Lately type deal.
Yeah.
And so those guys are already locked in.
Didn't read like that, though. It didn't read like Jay show plus Eric and Dude. You know what I mean? It was like, it looked like you were all just co-hosting and I was the guest. So
well, that's the gig. Yeah, they were the co-hosts.
It was an interesting. Is there going to be a season 2?
I don't think so. I mean, we would have heard by now. I wish, because my idea was...
The show was great.
Thank you. You get a different radio guy from a different market each week to be one of the co-hosts. Like you said you were in.
Oh, I'm all
and you just get a comic. But then you get a guy like Kevin from Kevin and Bean just talks about it like, this is the week I'm going to do Jay Mohr's show, Master Debate. And then when it airs, he talks about it again.
Right.
You get Cowhead from Tampa.
That makes sense.
To do it, and he comes in, you put him up, you do the thing, you get Opie and Anthony to be your guests out of New York.
It's a wrap.
You just crush it.
Get Gary Delabate from the Howard Stern show.
Howard hates me for some reason.
Why though? I wanted to ask you.
I don't know, because
this,
someone tweeted me a link to him just saying, I know things about Jay Mohr's career that will end his career. So he doesn't, and I'm like, because I don't know anything about
that's pretty ominous to state.
It was like 10 years ago.
Do you know what he's talking about?
No, there is nothing.
Do you know what he's talking about? Why are you winking at me?
You're an asshole.
I'm kidding, dude.
I was like, wait a minute. No. And when I'm like, and then I read like the comments underneath, and it's like 50-50 of Jay Mohr's a douche. And Howard did this to John. Howard did this to so-and-so. Howard did this to so. And like, I wish I could reach out. The problem with radio guys, they always have the last word, and they have it forever and forever. And then 5 months later, you're doing a movie literally in Paris, and they're going, let me tell you about that asshole.
Right.
As you're like, running from Cameron Diaz or whatever. Like how I set up my life. I'm running from a muscular chick.
What is that?
And then, hold on, let me finish. So then I turn around in the middle of the street and I drop her, and I go, sorry, I was in character. And then she gets up and does some Matrix stuff on. Anyway.
Have you ever interfaced with Howard?
No. And I think it's a shame because I made my guys are Opie and Anthony. Those are my guys.
That's why I asked, though. I know.
But I think there's such a line that got thrown down between the two sides, which I understand. When there's a divorce, you can't play both sides.
Right.
You have to pick a parent. That's
Absolutely.
just how it goes.
It's a good, actually a good analogy.
And like when your friends get divorced, you can't go, I'm going to still be friends with the couple. No, you're not.
yeah, no.
One of them is going to cut you loose because
Yeah.
they can't stand hearing that you bowled with Marcia.
Right. And you don't see Jim Norton running the Howard Stern show every other day.
No,
you know?
but, Colin Quinn,
does them both.
yeah, there's a couple guys, Patrice, there's a couple guys that crack the code where they just do them both. And then Louis C.K., there's fans that have said, and the fans finally just started going, he's promoting something. Leave him
Right.
alone.
Exactly.
Let's not get too far off the fact that you were on Celebrity Apprentice
Yes.
and you finished 10th.
Yeah, I know. That looks so much worse than I actually did, though. I'll tell you why. Because
how could it
finishing
be-
10th, I was on for 6 weeks.
Latoya Jackson finished ahead of you.
No, it's not a drag, dude. But
Marley Matlin took second. What was the final challenge that you got eliminated on? Lip reading?
and the worst though, dude, I lost to Gary Busey in the boardroom. Me and him all going one-on-one. I'll tell you this.
Hold on a minute. How does a man that brains are pudding, who's put his motorcycle into side of parked cars several times, and we all know is an actual crazy person, outfox you in a boardroom?
Okay, if you're producing a reality show, your name's Mark Burnett. Okay, are you going to bring Gary Busey back the next week? Are you going to bring the guy who just works hard and supports everybody and just stays out of everybody's way? It is a competition, okay? Celebrity Apprentice, it is, okay? But it is also a television show. And I kind of got, I was subject and victimized by the Gary Busey hurricane. That is reality. And what was the challenge? The challenge was the thing where it was for Australian Gold tanning products, and I was the project manager.
Hold on a minute. Tanning product. Gary Busey blew you out.
Big Wednesday.
Walk off home run, Gary Busey for tanning products. You live in the sun. You're a Newport Beach guy.
It just gets worse, dude. I can't even dig out of this thing.
No, I don't want you to. This is great.
But I think the guys
we didn't start recording yet, so just keep going.
Okay, good. The guys had won 4 in a row that season, okay? And we were dominating. It was turning into not a show. Thanks, bro. And I just think, Mark Burnett's a very smart guy. He makes great reality shows for a reason. You could kind of see where this was going. Uh-huh. And I think I was going to be eliminated no matter what. And as a matter of fact, Gary broke the rules in that episode. He actually pitched himself to the client during the project. During the episode, saying, hey, when this is all over, I think I'd be a great Australian Gold representative. Big Wednesday, shooting a curl, the whole thing. And I walked in there with the rules to the boardroom saying, Mr. Trump, this is going to be the shortest boardroom in the history of Celebrity Apprentice because Gary broke the rules. Part A, paragraph 2-5A, boom. He submitted himself as a pitch person after the show's over. So there you go, it's done. He goes, oh, Mark, I wish it worked that way. It doesn't work that way. The rules are the rules, but that's not how it's going to work here today. So not only did they not fire Gary, they edited it out of the whole fucking show.
They edited you bringing the rules.
The rules. I go, this is over, guys. That's why I only brought one guy. I didn't bring 2 guys back, which is traditional for the boardroom. I brought one person back, Gary, and said, good night, guys. Here we go. FA paragraph 2/DFFFR. Gary's out of here.
Don't pitch yourself as the celebrity pitchman for
Rule
tanning
1.
products.
Yeah, after Celebrity Apprentice ends. Sorry, Mark.
I could do private gigs in your home. Gigs. Greatness inspires greatness sometimes. He's got those batshit acronyms.
Have you run into him, Jay, around here?
No.
He's all in this area.
But you wouldn't know you wouldn't think it was good if you heard the gears in my head smashing together going, don't blow this. And it's a small word. Just do it.
Oh, bro, man. It was,
and I used greatness twice.
It was tough, dude.
So what was the reason for you being fired?
Because I was a project manager. And actually, they even liked our idea better. But they just said the girls are a little better. And, I never really articulated to me. It was just, I actually said this to Mr. Trump. I still call him Mr. Trump. I'm like Pavlov's dog,
Yeah. I
actually said, listen, if we lost because of the idea, then I'll gladly take the responsibility for that. And he doesn't like when you take responsibility for stuff. I go, dude, I've taken responsibility for my, my successes and my weaknesses. That's just who I am. And they just started like building this sort of, I could just feel the energy going, I'm going home. I was just sucked into this vortex of Gary Busey is an incredible reality character. And that was it. I could see that as soon as I brought the thing in, they said, that's not how it's going to end. I brought the rules in. They just said, it's a wrap, dude. You're going home. And I went home, but the good news is, Jay, I redeemed myself because they brought me back for the finale. All right. And I actually created the soda can for 7-Up that won and developed the video the concept of video that actually won for John Rich. So I kind of redeemed myself in the end. I was one of the stronger players, so I was stoked in that sense. But
It still bothers you.
I'm bummed out. Dude, because then you go, you finished 10th on Celebrity Apprentice, and it looks like shit. But 10th actually got me 6 weeks in of the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
How much money did you raise for your charity?
$0.0.
Wait, what do you mean?
I never
real?
won. I didn't win anything. I won a lot of money for everybody else's charities, and I put a lot of my efforts in for them winning money when we won 4 in a row. And it was my turn to be project manager, and just the tide turned, man. I think the producer,
Do you think because your charity was Save the Music?
Yeah, it was.